Ruben here for WA Production, and in this video I'll be taking a quick look at how you can use Loop Engine 3 to generate chord sequences and shapes. This is a really easy to use feature of Loop Engine 3, and I'll be running through the basics and also dropping some tips about how to get the best from the intelligent chord selections. So let's dive in. Loop Engine 3 has many fun and inspiring features, building on the legacy of the two previous versions. The one thing that's remained largely consistent throughout the evolution of the plugin is Loop Engine's approach to chord generation. Let's start with the loop view. The basic concept is that Loop Engine's algorithms will begin with your chosen root key and major or minor feel set out by these controls. Then, when you click Create, the intelligent engine will quickly construct a chord sequence. Depending on how many segments you have set up in the main circle, this could be as few as 2 or as many as 8. Bear in mind that this creation process is just a starting point for your chord shaping adventures, as Loop Engine will start off with reasonably vanilla, simple chord shapes. I'll show you how to spice these up in a sec. Chord generation can be limited to only chords towards the end of a sequence, in so much that you can lock segments in a clockwise manner and generate new ones for the remainder of the sequence. For example, here I'm locking the first 2 chords, so let's generate the rest. I like these next 2, so I'll lock these in and generate the remaining 4. You can see how it's possible to quickly start building chord sequences that both progress naturally and sound appropriate for your personal project. A kind of curated randomization, if you like. Clicking into the chord view is where we'll get deeply into the chord shapes and start to adjust their function and complexity. You don't need to be a music professor to understand these controls. In fact, the best way is to experiment until you get the results that you like. But here are some pointers. Chords consist of 3 or 4 notes. This inversion control rolls the order of these notes from top to bottom, transposing high notes lower or low notes higher by an octave. Range operates in a similar way, but spacing the notes out more. Imagine if you were playing a chord with your fingers, choosing a higher value here would be similar to further spacing out the notes played by your hands. Simple and advanced modes are available, which gives you access to additional chord shapes. By the way, the chord shapes you choose are shown here and here. This central selection of buttons is for chord function and complexity. Music theorists will find it useful to know that the T, S and D buttons represent tonic, subdominant and dominant tonal functions. But that's not essential for anyone else to understand. All you need to know is that the higher up the matrix you select, you'll hear more spicy and unusual sounding chords. Type and tension chord options add even more variety, with the kinds of chords that you might hear in more orchestral or jazz music, but feel free to give them a try in your own productions. Before I go, there's a unique feature of Loop Engine 3 that I want to cover, somewhat related to chord generation. Let's try a different instrument and chord sequence. This auxiliary notes toggle can be activated, and then you'll get what are called passing notes added into any chord changes. That basically means that the algorithm will insert additional notes into the playback to smooth out the transition from one chord to another. Sometimes this can be subtle, and at other times more striking. Again, worth experimenting with to see if this augmentation adds to your production. Loop Engine 3 has many more creative features, from an inbuilt note editor piano roll to polyrhythmic playback. Check out other walkthrough videos or the useful manual for full details. And thanks for watching.